This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the executive chairman of Mawson Gold, Mr. Michael Hudson. Mike, how are you today?
I'm top of the world down under, as I like to say, Gerardo. All is great, thanks.
I know the share price doesn't reflect it, and it's a heck of an opportunity, but you put out one of the better releases that I've seen from Mawson Gold in quite a bit, and that's saying a lot because you've put out some blockbuster releases here recently out of Australia. Let me read the headline, and then I would love for you to provide the context. Mawson drills 3 meters of 41.4 grams per ton gold and 12% antimony within 11.7 meters of 12.4 grams per ton gold and 3.6% antimony in the deepest hole at Sunday Creek, Victoria, Australia. Those are some phenomenal numbers, and given that the system is open at depth and the system continues 10 kilometers to the east, covering historic mines without a single drill hole test, I gotta believe that the team is happy, if not about the share price, about these results, because the share price will take care of itself once we get through tax loss selling season.
That it will, and it always does, as we just discussed. The voting machine is on now, but the weighing machine, when people realise the value here, will be back. And all we can do is continue to put out results like this, and life is good, Gerardo. It's one of the better results of my career. You don't often hit such high grades that are beautifully continuous. This is not just a little nuggety system. This is if we put the drill assays out, we put the core pictures of the core, and people can see just the continuity of these grades is phenomenal at the grades that you just called out. The most impressive thing was this is a big step out. This was 100 meters below the last hole. It was 500 meters from the previous hole we just put out, which was another big step out, the 20 plus meters at 5 grams. So the system is getting better at depth. It's getting better at depth like Fosterville did. This is a direct analogue of Fosterville style mineralization. When we're very close to all those deposits, like Costerfield and Fosterville, which really haven't been understood. We're really peeling back the geology here of Victoria for the first time ever in these systems. So we see them much more resemble epithermal high-level systems than orogenic systems, and that might mean a lot to many of your listeners, but it really focuses you on how to explore for these things and explains how they can form these Cinderella zones that we've got here. And this is very early days. We put about 6,000 or 7,000 kilometres into Sunday Creek now over the last year. We look forward to putting these into their own vehicle where they can attract lots of capital and bring multi-rigs here and really go for broke rather than just the one rig that we've got operating at the moment.
If it was later in the day, I might play a drinking game and take a shot every time you say Fosterville, and I joke, but frankly, these types of results and the results that you've put out, this is absolutely a direct analog to that. And that has to be, I described it as exciting. It has to be exciting to have a discovery of this caliber on your hands at this earliest stage in the drilling program and be able to go ahead and move forward with the pre-IPO private placement for the Australian assets that are being spun out. What does that look like for current Mawson Gold shareholders, Mike, for anyone that has any questions? And before you answer that question, let me thank you for taking time, because I know you're in between flights and made some time. I know you're at the airport right now, so thank you for making the time.
No, that's a pleasure, Gerardo. So we're looking to take $2.5 million into the private vehicle from accredited and sophisticated investors around the world, but it is an investment into the private vehicle. Then we're working very hard to get to the IPO stage during the start of Q2 next year. We're going to lodge the prospectus in March, early March, and that will see us trading around April, May, all things being equal. So, and then we'll look to raise 10 million from the public markets here in Australia and overseas, of course. So people can participate. Essentially, at the IPO level would be easier for most people. And then also Mawson shareholders will own about 60% of that vehicle when it is IPO'd, and Mawson shareholders will benefit with an in-specie distribution at some point soon after the IPO. So there's lots of ways to play here. There's ways to just hold two stocks and ride the opportunity that exists in both places. There's ways to top up in the IPO, and yeah, we're very excited. And there's nothing like finding gold to create enthusiasm.
There's assays pending, I believe, for one hole from Sunday Creek. Is that accurate?
Yeah, another big step out that was beside this one, 80 or 100 metre step out from this hole we just put out here today. That will come out in the new year. And we're also drilling. The rig has actually taken a bit of a hiatus from Sunday Creek. It's moved to a project called Roo, which we're putting 2 holes underneath an old open pit there. And again, those results will come out in the new year. But we're exploring 3 of the 9 historic epizonal fields here in Victoria. Fosterville and Costerville are 2 of them. Costerfield are 2 of them, and it's low hanging fruit. We're drilling under known systems that have really never seen modern day exploration, and this style that is demonstrating itself yet again that can form these amazingly uber high grades and in systems that look continuous and very attractive.
After the 2 holes at the Roo project, I imagine that the rig will be returning to Sunday Creek in January. Is that correct?
Correct. Our aim is to finish Roo pre-Christmas and move the rig back just before Christmas, ready to start again in the new year at Sunday Creek.
Excellent. Mike, thank you for your time. Congrats on some phenomenal results. Looking forward to that last hole, that large step out that you mentioned. If we don't chat between now and then, you have yourself a great Christmas and a great New Year, and thanks.
Thanks, Gerardo. Happy Christmas to yourself and all your listeners. I'm looking forward to next year.
Safe travels, as am I.